Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Nick back with another story time for you guys. And yeah, I'm sorry that this video is going to be up later than I promised for it to be up, but anyways, let's just get right into it, guys. Anyways, this story time takes place in third grade, guys. This was actually toward like the middle of third grade when like third grade was a good year for me at the time. I had a pretty nice teacher, but when my teacher did end up, this was the year that my teacher did end up leaving, and it low-key kind of pissed me off because she was a good-ass teacher, and just the way she taught us, like, everyone understood and stuff like that, but she got fired because I guess the school board didn't like the way she was teaching us, I guess, but yeah, it's whatever. Low-key to this day, I'm still kind of mad about that a little bit, but and the new teacher we got, he was cool, though. But we're getting off topic, but I don't know. Alright, so at this point in my life, I have pretty much done everything. Like I was pretty much a daredevil. Like I would get on anything, do pretty much anything. Any dare you told me, even rather it was crazy or how stupid it was, I would still do it just cuz yeah. But um for whatever reason, I don't entirely remember why, but like in my head, I always thought like breaking a bone or something was like the coolest shit ever. Like I don't know, I just thought you got like I would feel like accomplished if I like broke a bone or something, which I don't know why I was thinking that, guys. I'm just a dumbass kid, I guess. But um so my sister and my oldest sister at the time always have broke bones, obviously, because they were both athletes, and I actually broke my sister's arm when I was younger. This was when I was like young, when I was just a short, fat little kid, I guess. Oh, and no, I didn't break my wrist intentionally. Like, I know it sounds like I broke my wrist intentionally, but um, I don't know what I was thinking about doing this shit, but I'm over here thinking like, oh, it'd be cool to break my wrist or something. It'd be kind of cool. And little did I know, I spoke that shit into existence. So that man God was probably up there just laughing his ass off. He was probably just like, oh, you want to break a bone? All right, bet, I got you, homie. Anyway, so me being the daredevil kid that I am, I remember being with my friend at the time. You know what? Let's call him Justin. Alright, so me and Justin were, well, we talked occasionally. He lived across the street from me, so we would talk like every now and then. And we ended up going to school together, but I never really had classes with him. But Justin, and both my sisters ended up going to the park at the time. And in the subdivision that we lived into, there was a park. And at this park, you know, it's the basic shit, like like a swing set, basketball court, stuff like that, right? And this park realistically wasn't that like very very far from us. It's probably like, honestly, you could probably get to that park from my house in under 5 minutes if you ran. But other than that, it's like a 5 minute walk. Because we lived like toward the like front of the like community a little bit, but like honestly, I'd probably say we were like in the middle, because and the park is in the way back of the community. So yeah, it's not far, but it's a decent little walk. And anyways, so I'm with my sister and my oldest sister, so I'm with both my sisters and Justin. And we go to the park, you know, we're hanging out, playing around. My oldest sister is playing basketball and stuff like that, because she knew people in the shit, and yeah. So while me and Justin are playing, and my like the middle sister, or like, you know, my older sister, I'll just say that. While we're all playing, and Justin dares me. He's like, Nick, you should like run and try to catch the pull-up bar. And I'm like, all right, bet. And I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but like I said, at this time in my life, I was a daredevil. I would do whatever the hell you pretty much told me to do, unless it was obviously like kill someone. But yeah. Um, so I get ready to go, and as soon as he tells me to go, I run and I go for the pull-up bar, and while I'm jumping for it, my hands completely slip, so I fall flat on my ass, and I land on my wrist. So my wrist is pretty much flat, like wrist down. You know how you normally would land like to break your fall, like to land on your wrist, you would normally land on your palm, right? But no, I landed on my wrist. So I get up and everything's fine. Like I'm okay. I'm brushing my ass off because I have a bunch of like mulch on my butt. So I just like pat that off my ass, and then I get up, and then I look down at my wrist, and my wrist, honestly, if I had to describe it to you guys, my wrist was in the shape of an S. It was in the shape of an S. Like picture that in your mind. My wrist was in the shape of an S. So all of us just being completely disgusted. Justin, my oldest sister, and my older sister, all of us just being disgusted. And I wasn't even freaked out. I was just like not mesmerized, but like I couldn't believe it at the same time. I wasn't in shock either. Like I was actually really really calm. I took that shit really well. So, anyways, my sister looks at my wrist and they're all disgusted. And my oldest sister, I shit you not, she put me on her back and she carried me all the way home. Like I could have walked, but I just went along with it. So I didn't cry at all. I was perfectly fine. And then when we got to the house, my parents saw it, and then they were getting ready to take me to the hospital. And my mom was low-key thinking about trying to like set it herself before we got there, because that's what she did to my sister's arm when she broke her arm. She set it a little bit, and then the doctors did the rest, obviously. And so I was completely calm until my sister came out and said, they're gonna pop your wrist back. It's gonna hurt." And then that was when little me, like my emotions started to go crazy, and I started crying. But other than that, I was perfectly fine. And so we get in the car, we go to the hospital, and while we're on the way to the hospital, I'm just over here thinking like damn, I'm about to have a fat ass cast, and I'm over here like thinking, wow, I really just broke a bone. It's just like wow. Like it's just so ironic too. But on the way to the hospital, we get to the hospital. My dad comes out and he grabs a wheelchair and he puts me in the wheelchair. And we have a pillow. We bought a pillow to rest my wrist on. So we go straight into the emergency room. The desk lady asks, she's like, "Hey, what are you guys in for?" And then they show her my wrist and they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll get you right in." So we're waiting to see the doctor. And a couple minutes go by, and we get called back. And on the way back there, I'm over here thinking in my head, like, shit, is this gonna hurt? And stuff like that. And I'm about to have a fat ass cast and shit like that, right? And so while I'm back there, I remember them putting those needles in me. You know, the IVs that they put in your arm for the drugs and stuff that they normally get you to numb you and shit like that. And I shit you not, bro, I don't know what the hell they gave me, but that is the highest I've ever been in my entire life. I was so like I was perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden, like I just passed out. And then I woke up, and I was so damn high, the whole world was in slow motion. I've never been that high before in my entire life. Like everything was like a blur a little bit, and I remember looking around for a little bit. Like I vividly remember, but I remember looking at my doctor and him popping my wrist back, and in my head I'm like what the hell? And according to my parents, I was making faces and shit the whole time. But I was like really really young at this time, so my parents were kind of like freaking out a little bit. They were telling me, and I didn't feel shit. And bro, I shit you not, there was like 10 doctors in the room with me. They were all for a different thing. Like one was like the defibrillator doctor, and I don't really remember a lot of everything else. One was for the X-ray and a lot of other shit. But my parents said they were kind of nervous for me and shit. And there was a lady behind me that was like rubbing my head and shit. I remember her voice. I don't exactly remember what she was saying to me, but I remember her voice. And so after that, I pass back out, and then I wake up. And I'm just looking around, and I look down at my arm, and it's wrapped. I didn't get the cast yet, but it's wrapped. And my dad looks at me, because my dad and my mom are both sitting on the edge of the bed looking at me. They're like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I look at my dad, and I literally, I shit you guys not, I was seeing two of the guy. So me still high a little bit. My dad tells the nurse that hey, he's still a little drowsy, and she gives me the sterilizer to like take the edge off. And when she takes the edge off, we're on our way headed out, and she's wrapping my arm, giving me the sling, the simple shit like that. And when she's giving me that shit, for some reason, I was craving cupcakes so bad. So I ended up telling my parents that, hey, I want some cupcakes. And so they actually ended up taking me to Publix on the way out. So on our way home, we ended up going to Publix. I got a 6 pack of cupcakes. I bet I ate like half the roll. So I bet I had at least 3 cupcakes. And so my parents just wanted me to sleep in their room for the night. So they made me a little pallet on the floor so they could watch me, stuff like that, right? See if I was in pain or anything. And yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, moral of the story, don't talk shit into existence, because more than likely it will probably happen to you. So knock on wood before you do, or speak crazy like I did. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, I have a lot more story times to share with you guys, so yeah, let me know what you guys want to hear next down below. But also leave your story times down below, and I love to hear them. But I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.